Hello everyone, this is Joanna the Medium and welcome back to my channel. These are going to be readings for June 2016. First and foremost, for all of you who are watching and subscribed, for all of you who have emailed and commented on all my readings, particularly in May. I've had literally hundreds of emails and comments for my May readings. I want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate this, and I always say I'll appreciate it more than you will ever know. But I just want to make sure I give you my gratitude for being on YouTube and growing. Keep in mind these are general readings, so they may not apply to everyone, and actually probably will not. That would be quite unusual. Also, keep in mind that it's sometimes useful to listen to your rising sun and your other signs, as these will perhaps sometimes or some months offer more of a complete package of what is happening in your life. Sometimes your dominant sign or your sun sign may not be telling you a full story certain months, and some other times the other signs will complete the picture for you. As far as May is concerned, there was a bit of a turbulent waters in May, even though it was more peaceful than the last 4 or 5 months prior to May. I am being shown June to be much more celebratory. There's an aspect of social gathering, family gathering. I see people cheering, weddings, birthdays. I see a lot of outside social events. But we are coming up to the summer months, so obviously that kind of goes with the territory. But the message is that it is going to be a month filled with laughter and joy. Particularly, I want to say the mid to the third week of June is what I'm being shown, and then I'm being told the word weddings. So, and also baby showers. So, whoever you are, you will understand what this means. I don't think there's anything else I want to address. And of course, if you would like to book a reading, you can contact me through my website, which will be down below in the information, or just simply email me at info@joannathemedium.com. And again, I want to thank you so much for all of you who have booked readings with me. You keep me hopping and keep me busy, and that is something that I'm absolutely grateful for and about. So without further ado, let's get started with each individual reading. Okay, I'll see you in a moment. Hello again and welcome back. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Capricorn. Just like the last couple of months, I am going to tune in and see if Spirit wants to give us any messages before I turn the cards over. So just give me one moment, and I am going to ask. The road in front of you is wide and clear, for it is the only way for you to travel. If you leave your baggage behind, you will understand the peace of mind that this road will bring you. Not only will your thoughts and heart become clearer, but your words will be congruent with the peace of mind that will be achieved by leaving your baggage behind. May was a month of transformation for many of you. And though the transformation is not quite over yet, it has indeed been a month of trials and tribulations for many of you. Okay, let's see what the cards say. I always get a little bit... when I channel, it's a different state of being, different state of consciousness. So when I start talking to you normally, it's almost like I have to shift back. So if it feels a little bit odd at first. So I always say if the cards can corroborate the message that was said, that's always my biggest wish, because it just puts everything together. All right. So the card that represents the position you're in right now, or the general theme of the reading, is the card called Rejoice and Celebration. And it's interesting because in the intro, we were talking about how month of June is going to be more of a celebratory month. However, this card is shown to me in reverse. And this is a card that's pertaining to your emotions. So I'm just going to flip this for you so you can see. So generally speaking, it looks like a very happy card. In a traditional tarot deck, it is Three of Cups. It is all about emotions. It can pertain to choices, decisions, but this is a lot to do with, I want to say organizations, and this is what I'm hearing, and friendships, alliances. However, because it's being shown to me in reverse, he's saying to me there is still some work that needs to happen within you in order for you to achieve your desired result. And I want to say the word friendships and or relationships. So this would be situations connected to the way you feel. Yes, it could be work, but I want to stay with friendships / relationships, romantic relationships, or any relationships for that matter. And he's reminding me to say matters of the heart. So there is still quite a bit of work to be done. He's saying he's connecting this to the month of May. So perhaps for those of you who this is supposed to make sense, you have been going through this in May already. And in the intro, he did say that there is, it isn't quite finished yet. So it is spilling over to the month of June. And I feel you will still be dealing with this aspect till June 15th or 16th. I'm being shown. Now, that does not mean that your emotional struggles are over and done with and you never have to deal with it again, but there is a considerable chunk of the work that you've been doing that will be accomplished and visible to you as far as accomplishment in the month of June, particularly middle of June. Okay, so that's where you are right now. Now, the influences that have contributed to where you are, or past influences, we have the card called Patience and Planning. This is an earth energy card. This pertains to, I want to say stability in this case. And keep in mind that I'm not a traditional tarot reader. So when I look at these cards, I don't assign a particular meaning to it per a book. I'm just being prompted intuitively and I'm hearing what I'm being asked to say. So the influences of this card, it's monetary, it is friendships, it is things we own, it is possessions, but because we're dealing with emotions here, I'm going to ask, okay, this is very interesting because this is definitely not something I would have normally say looking at this card, but what he's saying to me is that there's some kind of betrayal that happened in your past. And this could be betrayal of a friendship, or betrayal of a loved one. And he's connecting this card in reverse to this betrayal. And he's saying to me, first of all, I'm seeing the number 8. This could have happened 8 years ago, in the month of August, or 8 months ago, something with the number 8. And even though it has happened quite a while ago, long time ago, you have not been able to escape the emotional damage it has caused you. And when I was channeling the message at the beginning, when Spirit was talking about you leaving the baggage, he's reminding me that is exactly what he was referring to. It's the emotional baggage that has been weighing on you heavily, and which has in turn been affecting you and your relationship. And I hear the word betrayal. Excuse me 1 second. I'm also nursing a bit of a cold. I think it's laryngitis or something. But I couldn't leave these videos for too much longer. Otherwise, I panic because I have no time to record it. So that's the past influences. Now, let's go to the future card, which is always what I like to see. The card in the future is card pertaining to your thinking. And in a traditional tarot, this would be Ace of Swords. This is number 1. It says triumphant success. However, it is shown to me in reverse. And when I ask him what this means, he says to me, not yet. In other words, you will still feel a little bit stuck, both mentally and emotionally. And incidentally, I am being drawn to my abdominal area, and he is making me feel that the stuckness of energy is predominantly in your lower abdomen. So I want to say around the belly button and a little bit down. Okay, so that would be solar plexus, I would say, and the second chakra. So it'll be interesting to see what other cards are coming up. And also, he says to me, stabbing pain. So perhaps some of you are experiencing sharp pains in your abdomen or stabbing like pains in your abdomen. If that is the case, obviously always go, please check it out. But somehow he's connecting this to your reading. And perhaps you felt like you were stabbed, metaphorically speaking, when you experienced rejection and betrayal, because there's definitely a sense of that circling around you. And I do feel that you've been trying to shake it off for quite some time, but it's just not, you're not able to fully just get rid of it. And he's showing me a vision of a lamb. And I'm going, why are you showing me a vision of a lamb? And he says sacrifice. So I'm asking him to explain what he's trying to show me. Okay. There's an aspect of you feeling like you had to sacrifice yourself. Or there's some kind of level of sacrifice. The word sacrifice is very, very prominent here. So I'm hoping this is going to make sense to you, because as you know, it makes no sense to me other than just the words that I'm saying. I have no context. But the word sacrifice or sacrificial lamb is somehow he wants to put that out there for you as part of something to think about. Okay. But I also want to say, don't be the sacrificial lamb. I don't even know what that means. So for those of you who are listening and you do know what that means, could you kindly let me know with either comments or email me? Because sometimes I'll say things as I see them and hear them, but I actually have no knowledge of what it is. So enough of that. Let's go to the card that represents blockages, or what is preventing you from feeling like you're feeling full of joy. And again, this is to do partnerships/relationships. The card is called Trapped in Fear. My little cards here. This is again a mental card, mental game. Interestingly enough, I was talking about a number 8, and this is number 8 right there. Okay. So with this particular position, I'm just having conversation with him. He is showing me that for the most part, you have been able to work on your thinking, on your logic, because the card was shown to me in reverse, which in a plain interpretation would be opposite of trapped in fear, therefore not trapped in fear. But he's saying to me, for the most part, you have learned how to not let your mind play tricks on you. However, there's still an element of positive thinking that you need to implement into everyday life. So I'm going to see if we can open this up a little bit more. And he says, it is not enough for you to say it or think it. It must come with the aspect of feeling. If it is just only said out loud or in your mind, or if it's only thought of, you're only doing half of the equation, or you're only accomplishing half of the equation. In order for that thought to be fully implemented, energetically speaking, it has to be met with a feeling that is congruent with your thought. So I'm going to leave that for you to ponder, but that is very, very, very important. Okay, so he's giving me an example here, and I'm hoping this is going to make sense to you. If you are looking for a relationship, it is not enough for you to think it and visualize it. What needs to happen is you need to immerse yourself in the feelings that you would wish to have while in a relationship. In other words, what would it feel like? And see if you can come up with that feeling. It is the feeling that accompanies the thought or the vision that is actually going to produce your desired results. And he's saying that is very, very, very important. And he's showing me a really weird vision. I don't know why, but he says it's almost like having a piece of fresh baked bread. I don't know why I'm seeing this, but hey, and eating it versus having a piece of fresh bread with butter. They both accomplish kind of the same thing, but if you have it without butter, it may not be as tasty and therefore not as satisfying as having it with butter. So I don't know why maybe for some of you who love bread like I do, but I can't eat it. But I think it's a metaphor. I think it's a metaphor he's trying to show. Okay, so the card that represents your potential, we have the card called discontent and boredom. This is to do with your emotions. 4 is a number of stability. However, it's stability that is just at the beginning of it being built. But the card was shown to me in reverse. So what this means is when you work on your mind and on your thoughts, and you accompany your visions and your thinking of what you wish with a feeling, when you let go of the last piece of betrayal or hurt that you've been carrying from your disappointments in relationships in the past, you will receive, or you will find yourself feeling not discontent and boredom, but actually happy and content, which is, I believe, for most human beings, something that we strive for. And he says to me, the sun can only shine if you let it. Just because you cannot see the sun does not mean the sun is not out there. You're just not able to see it for whatever reason. And he's showing me blinders being closed, or blinds being closed off, and therefore you not being able to see the sun. But the sun is outside, you're just not able to see it because of the way you have structured your environment. So I do understand this is a metaphor, but with metaphors is how he speaks. So I'm hoping this is making sense to you. I'm also being shown with a red rose, one red rose. This is being given to you. I don't know who this is for. And I also hear the word dad. I am going to, okay. There is a dad coming through for whoever you are, and there's a connection with one red rose. This could be a connection to red rose, or it could be a connection to the name Rose. It could go either way, and probably does go either way. All right. And I feel that is it for Capricorn for the month of June. I hope this makes sense, and of course I would love your comments. I wish you best of luck, and if you need to have or if you would like to have a private reading that personally is catered to you, obviously you can contact me with the information below. And until July, and I can't believe I'm saying the word July, I wish you best of luck, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye.